in the second round, right? You switched to Southpaw. What did you see in there that made you switch to Southpaw?
Oh, I'm always been switching to like you can find my kickboxing fights, a whole fight in Southpaw. Like I never felt in MMA that was hard for me for a while because of wrestling. But now I can wrestle from both sides. I mean, kind of can wrestle. So now I feel more comfortable.
Okay, for sure. Because I was wondering, like, do you go to Southpaw to land a certain type of strike? Because I almost thought you might have been spinning, throwing more spinning stuff from Southpaw. Or any read on there that
Oh yeah,
like you liked over there in Southpaw against him?
yeah. I just love Southpaw in general. So I can be like 100% Southpaw. I can like switch 100%. Like I can be just Southpaw. Like whole fight Southpaw. Like it's for me, it's like I can do the whole camp in Southpaw. In fact, I did the whole camp. I was in Southpaw.
That's
So
hard for your opponents to train for you then because they prepare for one style and then you go and switch it up. I think that's why you had a lot of success with the Southpaw.
maybe I don't know. So like for me, like I never know. I'm not kidding you. So right before the fight, like night before the fight, I decided to start in Orthodox. But the whole camp I worked in Southpaw. Yeah, so I can switch like back and forth. I don't know why. I remember in kickboxing time, I think that's what happened to me. So I was fight a guy, and I keep trying to I keep baiting him, faking him, like keep asking for punches. A kick didn't work. As soon as I switched to Southpaw, he started missing, and I whoop his ass. And I remember that. And after that, I started doing this oftenly. And most of my kickboxing fights, I keep switching nonstop. Sometimes didn't even really notice it. Like I just keep switching it.
And you don't ever get tired if you switch too much because I hear that's a boxing thing. They try not to switch their stance in boxing because apparently it gets you tired, but that's a longer fight. That's like 12 rounds.
So in boxing is a little different because boxing is so the like how it goes the base the stand up stance your stance is much more important because it's more like it's closer distance. And some people not understand that boxers they punch in much harder, like the regardless big gloves wherever. So that's all what they doing. It's only hands. So it's only hands. So they punch in so hard, so bad, and like keep switching stance in boxing with no reason could cost you big problems. So it's no jokes. Like every single mistake, like every single punch you ate could cost you a problem in later rounds. It's also remember it's like some of the fights could be long, like 10, 12 rounds. So so boxing a little different. Like I just recently, it's actually in fact, uh, I haven't really switched even during the boxing sparring. I haven't really switched since like for a long time. In kickboxing, I already was able to fight Southpaw all fight, but in boxing, I never felt comfortable because like I wasn't fast enough. I didn't feel the distance good enough. Now I like just like I said, the whole cap one was in Southpaw, and I spar with guys. So like I feel comfortable even in boxing. But again, depends what level. For example, if I would fight like high level boxer, and I start feel like he like beating me, I more likely I would go back to Orthodox.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, it's the boxing is different. So boxing it's a base that they sit in a little lower, especially like American Mexican style. They like sitting low, punching super hard with whole body, using the whole core muscles. It's no jokes.
Right. So you got to have a good base is kind of what you're saying too. If you
Yes,
switch
yes.
and then even if in that moment you could be hit off balance and dropped for something like that too, right?
So the biggest problem for me in boxing to switch to southpaw was it's keeping your weight on your back foot. It's so funny, but you never realize it, especially because of so many years I'm fighting, and I never really thought about that. But thank God I have a Joe Rodriguez, the
Yeah,
best boxing
right.
coach.
Hey,
Yeah,
speaking about Joey though, because you fought a Mexican fighter, right? And he has a Mexican style to him, James Llontop for sure. How did it feel? Because you got a Mexican boxing coach. Did he help prepare you for some of his style at all?
no, like so in MMA, we not really consider anybody as it's hard to we just know okay he's Peruvian, like less likely he gonna try wrestle. So maybe jiu-jitsu, but they're not wrestlers. So yeah, but besides that, it's hard. Like so, I know a couple Peruvian guys. In fact, like one guy, Ian. So I wish he will be in UFC because he's such a good guy. He used to train in CSA, like I think now he's in Miami. Like he's so like, oh my gosh, so prestigious. Like his striking is like beautiful. One of my favorite striker. So and like I know they have a good Muay Thai, but like I mean this I don't think they have like Mexican style boxing. It's I don't I actually it's funny. I I don't think I can name anybody in MMA in UFC with like Mexican style boxing, because if you have a Mexican style boxing, more likely you're a boxer. It's hard. It's like it's to have a Mexican boxing style, you need to be a real boxer.
I see. It's hard to use that in MMA because there's kicks and
Oh
all
yeah,
kinds of
for
things,
sure.
right?
Because you sitting like kind of below your stance need to be. You have to have specific stance, specific footwork. It's like no, it's not easy at all.
Right. But he just has, I guess, the Mexican heart then, right? He has that
Oh,
Mexican heart,
maybe,
and that's what
maybe.
made it a great fight between the two of you because you got a big heart too.
Let's say it's Latino's heart.
Yeah, Latino heart. For sure.
they they they're like it's not fair. They're not all Mexican, right?
They're not all Mexican. Yeah, it's like the Spanish or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
That region. What made you? Because you also mentioned it though. You said the night before you were gonna go. You planned this whole training camp Southpaw, and the night before you wanted to go Orthodox. What was that reasoning?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so for me, it's the like I don't really feel a difference between stance. While I start moving, do shadow boxing, I start imagining how he throw cross, and I thought, okay, like I maybe want to feel this cross first to make sure, like because from Southpaw when it's two opposite stands fighting, so the biggest move it's like back like either cross either overhand, so that it's like how we like for both. So me as a Southpaw, I'm trying to throw left overhand. In fact, Chase Hooper cut me on that. So and if I orthodox against Southpaw, I'm doing the same thing. So and sometimes you need a little time to feel it, to start feel it, to understand the distance, to like how far it is, what like how time does he need to land it, to throw it, maybe like read some signals, how like how he prepared. So that's why I decided, okay, it will be a little bit safer to start in orthodox, like to start feel it, throw jabs, because it's one of the first reaction when you throw jab, people try to sleep or pair and cross you, and you can count like how much time does it take. So it's like so it's just so many tools, so many things, and like just something like I don't know, it's just pumped up in my head. Okay, I want to start in orthodox first.
Yeah, no, I love it, and that's just an extra skill set that you have because when you're thinking that, it's not like you know that this guy's going to fight in his one stance. I'm assuming. So the fact that you can go both stances allows you to have that freedom of like changing something that happened in your previous fight. You know?
In fact, he actually kept switching too.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's now it's more and more fighters switching stance. It's more like Muay Thai thing. So Muay Thai guys they keep switching stance a lot because of like in classic, especially classic Muay Thai, they use the legs kind of like same like boxers use like fake shoulders, jabs like this. So they use hips and legs like when they lifting the knees, and I think there's Mike Mellett used to call it marsh knee, marsh. Like so, you keep switching stance, and you like people never know. So for example, you want to prepare your left leg, you do right knee, right marsh knee, and while you're doing it, you like sneaky way switching stance. And sometimes the opponent couldn't see that, or stepping back. You know how this reaction when you step back and forward, step back and forward. So while you're switching it, he's stepping back and going right straight back to you to punch. And in this time, your left leg already strong leg, so back leg, and you kicking, bam, right to the liver and stopping him. So it's one of the most common trick in Muay Thai. So that's why most Muay Thai guys they switch in stance anyway.
I see. Is that why he was able to land a lot of kicks and stuff like that? Was he using that too?
Or maybe I think he was able to throw a lot of kicks because I was just dummy. I let him do this, but yeah, like yeah, that's a good trick. That's a good trick too. I think the what was uncomfortable for me in MMA people not using low kicks. It's very rare. Like so, it's like it's not that common. So I already stopped used to it. Like when I used to be a kickboxer, when we used to be a kickboxer, it's like low kicks nonstop. That was because it scores. Low kick used to score same as a punch when I was kickboxer. So that's why there was so many low kicks.
And
But
you had some
here
good
in
slips.
MMA, I kind of stopped feeling it.
I see.